Okay, so I just recorded this entire video and my microphone was off. How awesome is that? So what we're gonna do is voice it over. So basically, I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you haven't watched the first video, you should go ahead and do that. But basically, this is I get to play electrodynamics, and I really suck at this level, so we're gonna see how it goes. So, I was pretty concerned about, I was concerned about how the UFO part was gonna go, and a little bit about the ship part, because the ship requires extra skill, because in the regular part, it's just set jumps. The ship is not set. You actually have to go through it. But as you can see here, I made it with mostly no problems. Through this part, I was worried because I didn't remember the click patterns, but yet again, I made it through, no questions asked. This part, pretty chill. Like, wasn't really concerned. Just kind of hanging around. I said I wasn't gonna go for the coin. Turns out I went for the coin. And now this part. Very stressful part, very fast, almost died right there. And made it through most of this section, but made an extra click that cost me the run at 76%. This section is just me screaming about how crazy that was, because it's my first time back to the game in about 2.5 months. So, I'd say that was a decent run. Anyways, time for Hexagon Force. Right here, I was just talking about how the only thing that could really mess me up was the second ball part, because sometimes I just get locked up, like I don't remember what to do. And the other part is if I were to zone out during the first ball duel section, sometimes I die to the awkward click, the awkward yellow orb. But I go through, come over, hit these two, hit the orb late, and make it through. Very stressful dual ship because I don't remember dual ship very well. In fact, I never played dual ship except for in this level. Like, I don't think I've ever added a dual ship part. But here, I made it. I did the accidental thing right there that's actually supposed to make it easier. So, that was interesting. Made it through here. Almost hit that edge right there. And started glorifying myself as the greatest of all time at Geometry Dash, which is very much so not true. I would say I'm better than average at Geometry Dash, but I'm nowhere near the best. And I beat the level. So, that was really cool. Anyways, it's time for blast processing. Now, this level, I figured would be pretty easy. It's just got a couple minor choke points, but you'll never expect where I died. For right here, we're just jumping around. We go up, we start practicing wave spam just in a little tiny bit of preparation for deadlocked. Just because I didn't know how that was going to go. Either I was going to get, like, die really early, or I was going to make it through most of the level. I had no clue. But I made it through here, did the little ball part, just chilling, and then I made it to the wave section just to practice a little bit more wave spam. Which, as you can see, wasn't going so well. That spam was looking very weak. But around here, we just kind of made it through the rest of the level. Very close to death right there because I accidentally jumped off the ledge. But here we're just going around, not even gonna try with that coin because that could sell the entire run. And boom, I go up into the ceiling like I don't know, that was just really, really stupid. But anyways, now it was time for my favorite level ever. I just love this level. But nevertheless, we started. Go through, do all this, look through. I was stressing about this part, but I remembered. And I made it through that part with no problems. My heart started beating a little at this part, and I started talking about how there was no sustainable way for me to do that. I think all I need to do is click a little bit later, but it's fine. I made it through as far as I could. Now it was time for Geometrical Dominator, so I could practice just a tiny little bit of Robot before we got to Deadlocked. And was really the last time for me to plan out what I was going to do for Deadlocked, because obviously being the hardest main level so far, I was going to need to prepare. So I just made sure I got good at my up and down flying a little bit. Talked about how mediocre the level was. Like, I don't like it. I don't hate it. I get through here and I forget you have to jump. But it's not that big a deal. But now it was time for Deadlocked. It was time for one of the worst levels to ever grace this earth. Well, what am I saying? The worst level to ever grace this earth? I fucking love Deadlocked. I don't know. Anyways, I go through there, joke about how I almost just died, even though looking back, I didn't. So I don't know what I was yapping about. We come through here, and we spam. Very tight, but we made it through. And we go up, we grab the key, because gotta get those extra swag points. And we make it through this UFO section with relatively no problem. Make it through here, go to the robot section, make some very tight jumps, like usual, go through the memory part. My heart starts racing right about now, because just it's speeding up. I don't know. That ball part right there is what gets me amped up for the level. And then this part, yeah. That part especially I hate. And then I talked about how I hate this part. Just in contrast to it saying I love this part. And I just barely don't make it up. A little depressing, but on the hardest level of the game, I got 63%, which is not bad for my first time back in about 3 months. Anyways, we move on to Finger Dash. And so maybe I messed up. I don't know why I went back to Deadlocked. I don't know. And then I come in again, and I don't know why I keep going back to Deadlocked, but I guess I just needed to restart, you know. I did really bad. So technically on my first run I got to, I think it was 2%. So I guess we can just ignore the rest of this. I don't remember what I was yapping about. I don't really care. But yeah. Now while you guys watch the rest of this run, I'm gonna go make a breadstick from Olive Garden. I'll be right back. Oh! Open. There we go. Yeah, it's taking a long time. Oh, that should be enough. That's good. Alright, where were we? Oh, hey, I died. I think at this point I just gave up. I really wanted to beat this one first try, but it was not happening. So then I moved on to Dash. No clue what I'm yapping about right now. But I start talking about how bad that lag spike was right there. And we make it to the, oh no, on-site readable part. And then I die. Where I literally just had to hold down an orb. I just die. Yeah, so that was not good. I don't know why I messed that up. But yeah. Then it was time for the tower. This section was very, very short because I am terrible at the tower. And, well, you'll just see for yourself. I start off pretty good. I make a couple jumps. I bounce off. I stop on that and make a very risky jump right there, but it actually turns out in my favor. I forget where the left and right buttons are for a second, and I come to this part and I stop where I should not have stopped. And we just move on to level 2 just like that, because I did not care. And I try to make 2 jumps in a row, and I just die, because, again, I'm terrible at the tower. And the second one is the one that I play the least, probably. This one, we're doing pretty good, I'd say. I grab a coin, I go up, I say hi to the angry camera guy, and I just zoom right through this part. I forgot that those come out, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to get over it, but there they come. And I go through this part very slowly. So I don't know what happened to me, quote-unquote, speedrunning it, but I go through here. I get there, I miss, I panic, and I jump into the spikes. That was a bit depressing. But then we move on to the hollow, which I think I'm going to do really good on because I play this one a couple times. I never play through the boss fight, but I forgot those come, and I panicked and just... I don't know what I was doing, okay? And coming soon, like 7 years later, if that's okay. And then, well, that was Wraps. Or was it? We still had to go do something. There's one little level that's tucked way in the Vault of Secrets, and it's called the Challenge. So, we played through it. And, I'd say I did pretty well. We go through there, go through the tiny spider part, we just drop down, and just do this, and we go through, and we beat it. First try. And that was that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. See ya. Bros Life out.